still broken?
No, it's going. OBS ruined my intro that I had planned, so I'm just gonna jump right into it.
Way to fuck up.
I didn't fuck up. I blame non-user error. So, in the retrofitted vault of the Genesis, which you've reforged into a brig, perhaps the most secure brig that I've ever heard of, considering what that vault once was, sits in one of the cells Thoit Forko. He sits on his haunches, his large, flat head and fish-like mouth pressed down to his knees as he attempts to maintain some level of composure. Who wants to go in for this interrogation?
Well, first thing is going to be that we have to figure out exactly what we're going into it beforehand, so we stop having to do it in the middle of the scene.
Well, then do that in character.
Let's get into it. So, I guess the first question is where were we going to go after we got the dude from the pirate base?
Wait, you already decided that. You went over to a little mineral field on the far corner of the periphery. You've already done that.
Mm-hmm.
Hints, minerals, yes.
Dwarven paradise.
We require additional minerals. We require more Vespine gas. Build additional pylons. Anyway, so do we want to just say it's starting in the rec room?
Sure.
Works.
Alright.
Okay. So, let me say Ryland's probably floating over a couch or something. Just kind of chilling. What? Heaven forbid. Okay. So, Ryland's going to sit there and he's going to kind of unfold his arms from in front of his chest and put his hands up behind his head. So we have a professional assassin in the other room. We haven't messed with him in the week it took us to get over here.
Or let him think about what he's done.
There is that. I've been thinking about what we need to do to talk to this individual, and as much as it goes against the tone from when we got the one from the fountain, I feel like it would probably be best to at least offer the olive branch and simply state that we would like to ask at first.
I guess.
Well, because if we're going to keep collecting strays, at the very least a stray that is good at something, I don't want to say practical, because the other engineer we picked up last week is still helpful, but it would be nice to have somebody else to assist me in the applied sciences department.
And all else, we could just threaten to hand him back to Lop if he doesn't want to work with us.
What we're calling it now.
Leah just giggles and goes, applied sciences.
There's a lot of sciences that goes into a laser rifle. Do you realize how hard it is to get long-range energy weapons to work and not dissipate right in front of my face? There's a lot that can go wrong with that amount of power.
You're applying the sciences to someone else's face. I got it. It's still funny.
Sick. No, to be fair, I'm not holding my breath on them opting to join us. But at the very least, if we can have some reliable means to state that he's not after us. Because, yes, I used to have to do a lot of sketchy stuff for my living, but that doesn't mean that I want to have I don't want the memories of this particular RV trip to be driving over a road of bodies.
What?
It was in the book that Leah gave me while we were on our way over here.
That is one part
Road
of
trip.
history I might not have studied. Pre-space travel.
Huh.
So, I'm gonna agree that probably bodies everywhere behind the truck is a bad plan.
What is a truck?
You read the book wrong. Terrestrial vehicle, cab in the front, bed in the back. And no, not a squishy like sleeping bed, like flat to carry things.
A utility hauler.
Yes.
See, I understand why you chose this as your focus for your studies. It is confusing, but interesting.
Yep, that's what we are. Interesting.
Anyway, just getting back to the assassin in our brig. I've been trying to see what other plans and personnel information that they might be able to shed on Ahu's other associates. One of the other things that I apologize because I know that I brought this up before. But our plan has by necessity changed a few times since we started on this venture, I suppose. What? Trying to. I know that the initial plan had been to try and undermine Ahu's public perception. One moment. Apologies, I had lost my train of thought for a moment. I know that we wanted to undermine Ahu's public perception and undermine the perceived quality of his product. But from the information that we got, to do so does involve having to piss off a number of very influential and wealthy people in the galaxy. So the question becomes, to avoid having to irritate so many of Ahu's clients who could hunt us down or at the very least put out large sum bounties on us, I do not believe it's as viable to go after his company as we had initially thought. And so we have, and I know that information coming from this gentleman in the other room will shed some light on things, but going straight after Ahu's mace does seem like it would be the most long-term fix. The most long-term fix with the least collateral issues that come from us trying to address this. Whether that's sneaking in and putting a bolt in him, or taking him out and trying to expose what he did. The problem is that as far as any of us are aware, at least what he did was legal. I don't know. Either way. So, that is the direction I want to take this interrogation, but I wanted to know what anybody else might think on the matter.
I fear he might not actually give us the information that we're looking for on that. Considering, as far as I can remember, he wasn't in the internal circle like our last friend that we had on the ship. For all we know, he was kept out of the loop.
This is true.
What was that, Cassie?
Sorry, my preference is still not to kill immediately. To expose him, to find a way to damage him and his reputation without the collateral damage is my preference. If we wind up having to take him out after that, then we wind up having to take him out after that.
Leah looks around at everybody. Honestly, I'm cool if you want that, Aussie, but I'm ending up closer to Rellan here on Team Kiss Kill the Fuck Out of him.
My team is to simply solve the issue so that he doesn't have the means or reason to come after us.
Or that.
And what I was intending to say was more in line with what Asi said. He does deserve to die. I will never argue against that. But we need to make sure that whatever we do to him is something that is not going to cause us more issues down the road. Like I said on one of the other discussions, I do very, very much have the skills needs to get in and do that and get out, hopefully without anybody knowing that it is me. I suppose rather than retreading that ground, what I had meant to try and have the question be is, what sort of information do we want from this assassin to try and help the plan along?
I honestly, let's ask him point blank what'll get him to stop from trying to kill us. Money, killing him, some other third option that I'm not aware of.
Like I said, if he doesn't comply, we could always just threaten to throw him back to Lop. I'm sure Lop would have fun.
True.
Maybe he'd be able to tell us the way that he was hired. Maybe going through that as in a money exchange. I don't know. Might lead us into something other than trouble. Dog, what are you doing? No, dog.
Might check with him how he got paid.
I believe weren't we already tracking their money trail though?
That was more so their spending.
Mm-hmm.
I had thought we were tracking both.
He went down the wrong pipe.
That's not where tea goes.
She wants the tea. Yeah, you're supposed to swallow, not inhale.
Fuck you, Matt.
Okay.
Hmm.
Any additional thoughts?
My only thing is when in doubt, ask who, what, when, where, why, and if need be, how.
I have nothing to say.
All right.
You guys are all the ones who seem to have some kind of moral crisis every time we do something. So I'm just waiting for you to figure it out. I'm good with going along.
Well, then, would anyone like to tag along into the room, or?
Sure.
Okay.
Alright, so, going back to the previous scene. You enter into the brig. Thick walls, number of cells with which to hold people, secure locks on all of them. Forko is sitting there, basically attempting to isolate himself from his situation.
How do you mean? Sorry, how do you
mean? He's basically like sitting in the corner on his rump, resting his arms against his legs, head down. So you've seen it before, Relin. It's basically dude is kind of blotting out everything around him in order to harden and retain composure.
I.e., kill time.
He's been killing time, and also he knows he's probably got a number on what's about to happen, so he's been preparing himself.
So, anyway, when Round's gonna walk up to the door of the cell, and just tap on it with his middle knuckle.
He looks up at you.
What was his name again? Sorry, I'm derping.
Thoip Forko.
Good evening, Forko. How has your week been?
The nutrient bars have been smooth and tasteless, and the cell has been dark.
Did one of your lights go out?
Sure. We'll go with that, and not that I was sleeping continually.
We're wondering if you were in a, now that we're no longer in transit, if you're in the mood to sit down and have a talk.
Yes. Talking. That sounds absolutely wonderful. Which I hope the sarcasm is coming through, because he's being heavily sarcastic.
Uh-huh. So Roland's gonna float himself 4 inches up off the. His feet are going to be about 4 to 6 inches off the ground or so. He's going to take a position like he's sitting in a psychiatrist chair and cross one of his legs over the other, fold his hands into his lap. We have a number of questions for you. I wanted to start with, how is it that Ahu managed to hire someone such as you?
Well, Ahu didn't directly. But the way that you hire a guy like me normally involves finding him. his one of his managers. He air quotes on managers. What was his name again? His name was Koch. He's the, me and him have done some jobs before. He's got the freaky brain stuff like you do. We've done some jobs. He was hired first. He recommended me. He knew my record, my rap sheet, and the stuff we'd done together.
And this is the individual who continues to update your contract with Ahu.
That's Ipe.
I'm sorry?
Ipe. He's the guy who organizes us. He again sarcastically air quotes us specialists. The people who work directly for Ahu rather than working for the company. He's the guy.
Interesting. So, Virgo, you and I are both professionals. And so I'm going to cut the shit, as I've heard some humans say. We have a very specific agenda. What would it take to make you not want to be in our way?
I would answer that question with another question. Who's in your way?
Well, from the information we were able to find on you, it seems very apparent that you were following us. And somebody with your skill set, there's only one reason you would have been following us.
Do tell.
I don't know. Maybe a similar thing that you attempted to do with Lon.
He sighs.
We know what you do.
What do I do?
Oh my god, I'm getting really annoyed with this guy. Can I just call Raina and ask him to borrow the bone crabs? Cause I really kind of wanna go with bone crabs now.
His eyes widen a little bit at the mention of bone crabs.
At his eyes widening, at that point, Roland's just going to kind of shrug and when he... Okay, so when Light's talking about the whole, oh my god, just fucking talk or whatever, Roland turns to look at her, and then after mention of bone crabs, he looks back over to Forco and shrugs. The answer to
That is going to be up to you.
Look. He kind of settles himself a little bit. You people are sick. Bone crabs are sick. It's a gross way to go. He's obviously a little bit shaken that you would go so far. I'm a spy. I came out here. I've been tracing your trail all across this goddamn galaxy to figure out if you posed a threat. When Lop so violently ejected me from his yard, I thought it was entirely because you must have been there. So I posed a distraction and an attack so that I and a small trusted team could figure out if you were there, which you weren't. And then I had to go and replenish the people I lost in the attack. Yeah, I assassinate people. I am an assassin. If the opportunity presented itself, and you posed to be a threat, I was to kill you. But I'm not here looking to kill you. I was here to see if you guys were a threat.
And in your professional opinion, what is the answer to that question by this point?
Well, I'm sitting in a jail cell, and I know enough about kidnapping to know that the only way you guys are going to get away with this is if you kill me. So I'm probably dead anyway.
Except that the crime is committed in an area in which there is criminal charges can only be presented from the area that they were committed in. So unless the peripheries have scattered shot government is going to charge us, no one's going to charge us.
They might with the right amount of money.
Additionally, we have the simple defense of you attacked a salvage and construction station. We have a very, very clear case that we were simply hunting the bounty.
Be that as it may, you asked me if I thought you were dangerous.
Correct.
I believe your actions speak for themselves.
And I agree. So then what I want to know is, what would it take for you to tell, because we know that it is not Ahu truly calling the shots. We used to work with Ahu. He's not that smart.
He kind of quirks his head curiously at your statement.
He's smart enough to know how to get people to do what he needs them to do. When we were working with him, he was simply legal counsel. He only got to where he is because he's a coward and managed to get into the right spot at the right time.
Well, yeah, but he still calls the shots. It's just he tells one guy to do it and the other guy figures out how to do it for him. I mean, he's still technically calling the shots.
Yes, but the person doing the planning, the capable one, is who I do not have an issue with. What would it take for you to tell them we are not an issue to them? Because, Forgo, I will be very, very clear with you on this. Everything else that your other associates are doing, that the company that was founded is doing, I do not give a shit. I want Abu. Because as far as I can tell, nothing that your associates or the company are doing are anything that's terribly out of the norm in our galaxy. And whether you believe me or not, once Ahu is dealt with, regardless of how capable we are as people, we have no interest or reason to continue to mess with any of what you are all trying to sustain.
And at that point, Raul's just going to cross his arms over his chest again, just sit there and let him digest that.
But see, that's where you're going to hit a problem.
I don't like problems.
The only way that I can see that you can get Ahu out of his little bunker paradise, because that's the thing, he don't do any business by his own hand. He's what he's always been, kind of a face of the company. He does vid calls, he does long distance business. He has another guy who goes in person to stuff. The only way you're going to unseat him from his little paradise bunker is to either make him not have the bunker anymore or go to him. I was personally thinking you guys were seeking some form of way to get back at him and clear your names or something, like you see in the Hollow movies. But really, you just want to kill him? Like, that's it?
No. I said I want him. Revenge doesn't only mean killing. If it comes to that, I will do it. But the problem, and so that's where you have this opportunity right now. By helping us, we'll make a deal with your superiors. Ahu may be the face of a company, but a company can still survive without that face. The easiest way, most beneficial way for all parties involved, I am suggesting a coup.
One wrinkle on that. None of us know where the artifact is.
How well do you think Ahu would hold up to someone telekinetically severing a number of his tendons day by day?
Potentially fairly well.
While bone crabs eat him?
Well, if you feed him to bone crabs, you're not getting anything out of him other than blub, 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 and gurgle.
Well, you're the professional and you still reacted to that. Ahu is a coward and a bastard. I don't think he's going to hold up as well as you or I.
The only reason I say that is because Coke worked with him a lot. Did a lot of little mind tricky things.
Alright, well, I guess we're gonna have to go back to get the artifact first.
And even in that regard, if Coke is able to fortify his mind, that means Coke is the kind of psychic who can undo it. Can simply pull the information out.
That's true. So, you want to try and flip me to double agent. You want me to go and ultimately go to Ipe and tell him that we're pulling a coup on Ahu. Now, normally, in this whole double agent business, how to even put this? I get what you're going to say next when I say this, as far as what's in it for me. Because this is a lot
What do you
more.
think that is?
You're probably going to say that I get to live, and that you let me off this boat.
For a start.
I counterpoint with this. If this doesn't go right, if Ipei doesn't want to flip, I'm probably dead anyway with a lot less stress and work. So, let's get to that, past that for a start thing.
If Ipei ends up being on board and willing to forward the suggestion along, what Ipei and the others have to benefit before we get to you is that they, by your own time, I don't believe that you would be able to say honestly that you believe we are not a danger to the corporation they are building. We can cause damage to this, and if we have to, we will. We are the ones that destabilized the entirety of the fountain in a week. Knowing what they stand, knowing what the others stand to lose, and us offering a solution which causes them only mild inconvenience for loss, is very much in their best interests. And in regards of trying to help with that, when you talk to Ipei, for all I am concerned, you can present it as your idea.
Well, it's better than a plasma bolt to the head. However, what's your side of the plan? What do you do?
If your superiors can get us the location, schematics, security information, we're already wanted criminals. Some of us more than others.
I was going to say, like...
The company survives unscathed by it being a personal issue, by it being untied to the company itself. All we are functionally asking is, give us the keys to the door. As I said, you and I are both professionals. We know how negotiation tactics work. We skipped over the you wouldn't dare point of attempting to call someone's bluff. We already screwed up the fountain. We have displayed our intent and conviction and capability. This is the only option that your superiors have that doesn't involve billions of dollars of recovery.
And I still ask, what do you want from Lop?
From Lop?
Or not Lop. What do you want from Ahu? Sorry, rewind.
From Ahu?
Exactly.
We want him held. We want him held accountable for what he tried to do to us.
Good
Whether
old-fashioned
that-
revenge.
That is the width and breadth of our agenda. Whether we take the billions that he robbed us of out of his hide or his account, I do not care.
He glances over to Light, probably floating nearby.
Mhm.
Does that
He wants
sit
to
well?
eat his head.
That sounds like something you'll have to work out with your crew.
What?
I'm not saying because he just barely said that she wants to eat his head. And so he's like, oh, okay, so not everyone in this crew is on board with the same plan.
Eat his head? What?
It was a metaphor. I may be misquoting humans again.
That's, I suppose.
Human metaphors are awkward.
It's not a bad option. But you'll need to do a little more than just me throw open the door for you. There
That's
are...
why I want you to pitch it to your superiors. Because if it is all of them on board, then it's done.
I can already tell you 2 things you're going to need to do. You're going to need to cut Ahu off from his corporate face. Tagenki is his name. The guy who goes around, does the meetings, the business side of things that he can't do from a distance. Yeah. You'll need to take out that guy. That guy's too loyal to flip. And he's a stoolie. He will tell. Ippei, I don't know how he's going to fall. That's the thing. Guy's hard to read. You're also going to need to take care of Iska Kresh, the research and development lady. That nerd knows too much and is too loyal. She doesn't stand to have... She stands to gain the most from having Ahu in control.
See, I told you we needed to go talk to her. It's too bad she's too loyal, but we still need to do it.
You're really not doing much to help with getting into the good graces after your anniversary incident.
What?
He looks from you to you and kind of doesn't understand what's going on, so he just shakes his head.
That has nothing to do with anything.
The other most important thing is, regardless of what Ippei says, if we do this, if you want to do this, you're going to need to figure out where that artifact is. Because even if you want to take Ahu down, you're going to need evidence. You're going to need evidence you can take to Galactic Core to prove your names. And you're going to need the artifact as part of that evidence.
Well, and that is the unfortunate thing, that there is, unless he bought off part of the judiciary and our convictions, everything he did was unfortunately legal. He lied and put us in a position to be arrested.
I've been briefed on what he did. What he did was illegal. You guys had rights. You guys had everything. he did buy off. He made deals. He made deals with the judiciary of the Bright Star sector to ensure that certain details of the case, like the fact that you had negotiated your rights first, were ignored. That's why it's so important that you take this evidence to Galactic Core. They're above them, and they're far enough above them that a megacorp cannot easily bribe them, not without all sorts of inquiries being brought forward. Call it a free tip.
So then my next question is, for everything that you know about this process and how to bring Abu down specifically,
Yes.
Sorry, Matt's trying to choose his words because Matt's not as smart as Relin would be. Relin has D10 in smarts. He is very white.
He got brains in his thinky box.
Oh my.
so for what you know of all of this, are you telling me then that you're willing to stay out of our way?
As I said in the beginning, I was never really in your way to begin with unless you proved to be a threat.
And we have established that that is the case. So your caveat is now a valid part of your employment.
That it is. But you have produced door number 3. Which I can't say it's a bad option. I don't like Ahu any more than the next guy. He just signs the checks. It's kind of good life being part of a mega corporation. You should see my beach house. But that said, yeah, you can consider me out of the way. Provided I get off the ship alive. And not thrown into a plasma engine. Or have my head blown off. Or fed to bone crabs, which you're still sick people for even suggesting that.
She suggested.
You shrugged and went along with it. He actually points an accusatory finger. You were going to go along with it. Don't tell me you weren't.
Well, unfortunately, Ahu has put us in a position of desperation. When you put people in a position of desperation, they do things they would not normally want.
Well, I mean,
You would do it for fun.
that's not probably true. Not
For fun.
still probably not true.
This is at least the 5th or 6th time you have mentioned bone crabs in the last 2 weeks.
Well, I mean, you know, they were brought up a lot. They were Raina's babies. She loved her little bone crabs.
I like Eli, but Forco is correct. You are sick.
Now she just sounds... Forco shrugs his shoulders as he hits on the floor. Now she just sounds homesick.
A little of column A and a little of column B.
That or she's got Stockholm Syndrome.
All joking aside. At least I hope you were joking. Rellin.
Most. Point being, so if you stay out of our way, then that is already significant. But what I want to know is, are you going to take us up on this proposition? Because you said it yourself. If you back off from us, you already know that they're going to be aware something's going on. You will already be out of the job.
Yeah.
So what is it going to be, Forco?
It's either die now, run away, or die later.
Then give us a few minutes to go and confer with the rest of our crew. And if everyone is in agreement with the plan, we will bring you up to the bridge and you can open the line of communication. If you'll excuse me.
And with that, Rollins just lets his feet go down and touch the floor again, and he's going to start walking out. And I will be right back.
Okay. So what's the rest of the crew been doing while this has been going on? Leia!
She's been hanging out laying on the couch in the oh, stop it, stupid thing, stop it. I hate when you click the wrong thing and you don't mean to.
Yeah?
So she's just hanging out in the lounge on the couch, just kind of flipping through some screens on the tablet, trying to keep herself distracted from going, are we killing this guy?
You might be killing this guy. You don't know yet. And Dr.
Right now.
Dr. Russ Nemus, what are you doing?
She's likely just sitting around, just waiting, since she doesn't really expect the talk to take that long.
Uh-huh. So, Leia, as you are laying there, just kind of chilling out, trying not to focus on the stressful situation that you're in, you feel a sharp pain in your abdomen. I'm going to say left side. Extends down to your groin area.
Shit. Does it continue?
Yes, pain continues.
Jack, I need the doctor.
Is the doctor in the rec room, or is the doctor in the, where's the doctor?
She's probably still in the rec room, considering, like I said, she hasn't really moved.
Oh.
Jack, I need the doctor. I'm right here.
I wouldn't doubt Leah would do it just because she knows that Dr. Russ Nemus doesn't exactly like Jack. So Jack's hologram appears not more than a few yards away with a doctor sitting at a table and goes, "Doctor, Leah needs you."
Jack, I heard.
I know you heard, but, you know, anything to be useful, poof, disappears.
Would you both shut up and get over here?
What's going on?
She's gesturing with her hand to the side that Josh just was describing. This hurts a lot.
What am I gonna turn on a fan? It's way too hot right now.
That pressure.
No, it's just way too hot.
My.
Well, smart decision. Can you get up? Is it enough, or is it painful enough where you can't get up?
Leah, make a
Try.
make a guts check.
Guts check.
I'm just gonna say it's a guts check. Make a guts check.
Okay.
I feel like it would be guts.
Yeah, to resist pain and actually be able to move around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guts. Is that on my basic info sheet or?
It's a skill.
Should. Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's a skill.
Don't have it. So unskilled roll.
Okay.
Oh, it is.
The wild dice saves you. So yes, you manage to grit your teeth, bear the pain, and struggle up to your feet. It doesn't feel like your hips and back exactly want to cooperate. Like muscles just don't want to untense along that side.
Okay. So dog, I can do this, but this is a bitch and a half.
You're just gonna have to struggle through it. Let's get you to the medical room.
Okay. Walkie.
Into the turbo lift.
Hobble.
More hobbling of the hobbles.
Emergency medical transport. Wrong. No. That's the wrong franchise. Son of a bitch.
We might have to automate some of the gurneys in the thing to just wheel themselves just in case. Because yeah, this would be
Tie
bad.
them to the Roombas.
If this was a serious injury, this would be really bad. It's like, quick, we have to get you across this massive ship to the single lift. I never realized this design flaw. We're gonna have to fix this.
We reprogrammed some of the Roombas and then attached them on to the bottom of the gurney.
The sad part was I was thinking that.
What is the most GIMP way we can make this happen?
Exactly. Jack's probably observing right now and being like, that's a design flaw that's never come into play. Shit. Anyway, so you get her into the medical room. Oh yeah, you also get maybe the sense that your baby is not too happy about this disturbance.
Psychically?
Not psychically, but more maternally. You're like, this thing is kicking a lot more, and I'm kind of doing stuff in my belly. I don't think it's very happy.
It's like, this is a bitch and a half. And
Maybe it hasn't been this active since I ate that Camdarian fire spice. I don't know.
Alright, so medical scan is a thing.
Okay.
Poop.
Okay. That's probably the lowest I've ever seen you roll on medical training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Humans, they're just they're great. Look, like they got no squealy spooch, and they got all these organs and.
You know that there are.
Crazy.
You know that considering she has no additional symptoms to go along with it, Dr. Russ knows that it's probably a pretty normal thing. Like she can wear.
This is normal.
No, she's. Dr. Russ is fairly certain that this isn't any of the severe cases of this sort of pain, because if it was, she would have bleeding and cramping, fever, chills, nausea, vomiting, or potentially vaginal discharge.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks.
So yeah, she knows that it should be something. It's something fairly minor and not potentially baby threatening. Also, when am I ever going to get the chance to say vaginal discharge in a role-playing game?
Never again.
Never again.
Oh no, Leah's still pregnant. There's still time.
I get to say it more! Anyway, so, however, I'm going to roll a dice at this point.
Oh boy.
Bring out my percentage dice.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
And
That's
it all
gonna be
goes
fun.
horribly wrong.
So as Dr. Rasnemus kind of feels along trying to diagnose what exactly is wrong, the baby apparently decides it's had enough of your shit. And promptly you see like kind of like an energy crackle over around the region of Leah's navel, and a bolt of many-colored energy lance from her skin and shoot the medical scanner right out of your hand. It stays magnetized to the wall behind you.
Leah's just looking at it for something like, well, that just happened. And shit.
The doctor, meanwhile, like has her hand still up, just like, okay. Good news. What you're going through right now is just normal.
I'm pretty sure a lightning bolt coming out of my abdomen is not normal.
A rainbow lightning bolt.
Rainbow lightning bolt. No less.
No, that's usually not normal. But
When is it usual? Tell me, when is it usual?
when you screw something that you weren't aware could happen.
Oh, snap.
Again,
Ooh.
I'm going to reference your lack of bedside manner, Dr. Russ. Just saying.
You also know, however, Russ, that the Nazal, the thing that she supposedly had intercourse with, they don't typically have any form of psionic powers or special abilities. Other than their pheromones, which make them attractive to everything.
I'm pretty sure the doctor does not want to tell her that because that probably freak her out.
Unless she really pisses off, and then she can be like, okay, you know what? Your baby is a freak, so you just need to shut up.
Jack is also maintaining silence on what he just noticed, but you all know what, that's okay. We'll talk about it later.
But for now, you'll be fine. If anything, the pain should go away in a matter of time. If it does show up again, you do know what to do. Find me, whatever.
Yeah, it's just ligament distress. It goes away within a few seconds to a small handful of minutes.
You know, the doctor's still looking at the magnetized scanner.
Still
Leah's
stuck
just
to the
going-
wall.
Leah's just going, tummy rub, kid.
The kid seems to calm down.
Okay. Is it still magnetized to the wall?
Yeah, it's no longer magnetized to the wall. It drops to the countertop with a clatter. Otherwise, its circuitry seems a little fried, but otherwise it's okay.
What did you do to S9I?
Nothing.
Leah's baby just magnetized a medical scanner to the wall to tell Dr. Russ Nemus to stop touching it.
No comment.
No comment. He's just like, what?
Oh wait, and it was a rainbow-colored lightning bolt that got in there.
Yep, rainbow colored lightning bolt.
So,
Multicolored.
Who else is in the room?
Just Leah and Russ. Though in the bridge, Jack is reporting that he's detected a large influx of quantum energy in the med bay.
Did I leave the? No, I didn't leave that on. That would be illegal.
I don't know who'd be in the bridge at this point, but the bridge computers are reading this.
Like 30 seconds later, the door to the medical bay opens, and Relin is technically levitating, but it's like he's standing on the ceiling as he has his or his blaster SMG in one hand, and he's like, he does that whole like, bad video game special for the thing of like you peek around the corner and then you bring the gun up so that you can like clear the room or whatever. It's like,
What did you do?
for the love of Christ, get off the ceiling and stop pointing the gun at me, or I'm sticking the kid on you again.
Oh, I forgot to remind you, your child says hi.
Fuck you. Before you're able to.
I do believe that, given your current physical status, someone else speaking to it.
Relin, this is not the minute and a half to do this to me.
So the announcement was your child now.
We've come to realize that.
Jack
Okay.
Jack actually chirps in on a monitor nearby. I announced nothing.
Sure, Jack. Sure.
I didn't. I just displayed it in the bridge.
I'm
It's
going
not my
back to the rec room. We have corporate espionage to plan when you're done.
Quick question. Did the kid really say hi?
I'm going to the rec room. We have corporate espionage to plan. I will see you when you are done.
and then he floats away.
He can't even like smile as he does so.
He has the most dickish poker face.
Yes, it's kind of hard when one doesn't have a mouth to read them.
Yes, but eyes are the window into the soul, you know?
Are they though?
So I've been told.
He's a potato. He doesn't have a soul.
Doesn't need you to have eyes that tell everything.
Now that we've gotten that freak out, I guess, out of his system, do you need me to help you back to the bridge or not?
Probably should be there for this discussion. She very gingerly sits up. Okay, well, we were at an 11. This is probably feeling like a 2, but kind of receding, so slowly she stands up. Hey, not on the floor. We're winning. So, let's just head back, because at this point, I don't know what I'm going to do about being, pain's gone. That's good. Processing what my child can do, that's going to take some processing time.
As I'm sure anyone would expect that too.
Yeah, so without the flippancy, what was that, if you know?
It could be that your child's abilities had just peaked at that point. You are fairly far along, so it could be that the child not being able to physically, experience the world, might be reaching out through its psychological, or not psychological, psychonic powers.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Jack once again pipes in on the monitor. I feel like I need to say something.
Jack.
Yeah, Jack?
Normally psionic abilities don't allow you to manipulate quantum energy.
Awesome. Awesome.
Which is what I detected when that bolt of light erupted from your navel.
I'm going to the bridge now.
I will continue to analyze this.
She starts heading to the door. I'm done.
Doctor's just sitting there squinting at Jack. You do not tell her anything to freak her out. That's the last thing we need.
Jack shrugs. You're the doctor. I'm just saying. Once information is given, it can be brought to terms with.
And there is also dealing with the situation that we're at currently, minus her condition. Last thing we need is her going into a panic while she's in the middle of flying.
True.
And she just dealt with her child magnetizing my scanner to the wall. Poor thing.
There's an important question that I think needs to be asked. Is it still stuck to the wall?
No. When the baby calmed down, it dropped off the wall.
So pretty much right before Rellin came in, it kind of dropped.
With the clatter.
Yep.
Weren't the circuitries on it fried though as well?
Yeah, it's gonna need some replacement of its internals.
So we both know that it's going to be dropped off to Light going, can you fix this?
I can fix anything.
With chewing gum.
Questions on why it was fixed.
We both know that if it's asked, it's Leia's child fried my scanner.
Which in a way gets back to the default answer of why there was something wrong on the ship. The human did it.
Oh. Fucking gnats, stop.
I didn't do anything.
I said gnats.
Oh, snap.
Oh. As you were.
He's got a guilty conscience. He must have done something.
I get yelled at all the time.
So Leah's headed to the bridge.
Or the rec room? Where he said to meet everyone?
Yeah, wherever we're meeting everyone. She's like, I'm done. I'm checking out, dudes. Bye.
To the
So, Rellin, when you went and checked out the thing, was it the little box about yay big with some buttons on it?
Yes. Why? Yes. Why?
You didn't shoot it, did you?
It was the only way to get it to stop beeping.
Oh, son of a bitch. Well then.
I believe that if that is the phrasing you're wanting to go with, we should go find Kalina so you can continue your conversation.
No, I think we should all get on the shuttle right now and examine the outer hall. For reasons.
What was this box?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. There's no box. Don't worry about it.
Anyway, after a lengthy discussion with Forgo and Brig,
And at that point, he gets into the long-winded recounting of how the conversation went. And so,
what I want to know is this the plan of action that we want to go with? Because the only thing we personally stand to lose with our goals is our target and our enemies get a declaration of intent. Silence will be filed under consent.
Well, I mean, it sounds like a better option than just going in guns blazing. And I don't know, like, if that gets things done faster and literally could lead to clearing our names, that's a really good option, guys. Because otherwise, unless we were going to go find complete anonymity for me and Aussie on Aussie's world, I was thinking that we were going to have to go head tail out of this galaxy after this.
Wait. So how you all are criminals then?
wrongfully
Okay, hold on.
Wrongfully convicted.
They are
Most
not.
of us.
They are not. I am. They are not. Don't judge them because Ahu set us up.
It's not like, you're much better than us at the moment, considering that, well, I know you were conscripted, but you were working with the pirates.
You were complicit.
I mean, it was that or get shot, so
Still makes you complicit in some government's eyes.
fair enough.
Anyway, we're working to clear our names. Most of our names.
I just want revenge.
Worst case scenario, we simply go for the brutal version of revenge and then follow the statute of limitations. But anyway, Forgo, the assassin, offered to, well, agreed to, I should say, get a hold of his immediate supervisor and offer the proposition that if they give us Ahu, we won't, well, we won't have collateral damage on their company. Or cause collateral damage on the company. So, does anyone have any particular objections to this then?
Use the prisoner we have to get the guy who's framed you all. I see no problem with that.
Seems simple.
Almost
Then,
too simple, though.
yeah, considering the trouble that we've gone through already, it rarely ends that simply.
And that's true. But the truth of the matter is, all of this has still been the beginning. When it comes to the process, the negotiation process, this is the beginning. As I explained before, our involvement in the fountain in regards to these negotiations is an example of capability and intent. They have that now as an example where we can skip the whole. We've all seen the hollow videos. I will wreck everything dear to you. You wouldn't dare, so you shoot someone. They now have zero reason to question our resolve.
Still assassins.
And this is true. But at the same time, our issue is not with any of them as a company. Our issue is with Op. And so it is in their best interest, financially speaking, and as the sanctity of a company, to cut out the tumor. Any additional thoughts? All right. So, that said, all in favor of going forward with this plan, raise a hand.
Leah raises hers.
Ashley is raising her hand.
Dr.
Sarah
Raises
raises
hand.
his.
Okay,
like
so
I
sorry.
said before,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like I said before, I have zero care about how we go about this, as long as Ahu gets his in the end. So you know, if this is what y'all want to do, then I'm going with it.
What were you saying, Casey?
I'm just saying the doctor raises her hand.
It is unanimous then. All right. Jack. I would like an escort of 4 of the cat bots brought down over to the brig, and we will escort Forco onto the bridge, where he will then provide us with a line of communication to his immediate supervisor. I would like you to work with S9I and ensure that that they will not be able to trace the point of origin.
You mean the cat box that Jack doesn't control?
I thought he could because
No. We've tackled
because
this
there was a
before.
point we asked him to bring them onto the bridge.
No, he can't control them.
Okay, well then never mind. We'll just everything else but that part.
Okay. Okay, so we make it so. You're going to bring Forco onto the bridge.
Mm-hmm. Which, so here's how that's gonna play out. So the door to the brig opens up, right? And Relin walks in, and he's actually walking at a very, very slow gait.
Mm-hmm.
And his arms are folded across his chest. He kind of slowly walks over in front of that door. He's not actually looking at Forco. He's looking down at the ground.
Right.
Well, I talked with the rest of the crew.
Right.
Psychic sigh.
You don't have to do that. I mean, anyone
would
who
you like
breathes can sigh. Can you breathe?
Through my skin.
Well, then just force a lot of CO2 out of your skin all at the same time.
Wait, he's a plant. Does he force out CO2 or does he force out oxygen?
Yes.
Are we like... Are we like feeding him carbon dioxide, or those of us who lung?
I did not take. Okay, mechanically speaking, I did not take any of the traits where I have some sort of extreme environmental requirements, unlike fucking fish people. So, no, he breathes oxygen.
Okay.
It's all good. Base covered. Anyway, so he's.
Forco, do you want the good news or the bad news?
Go ahead with the bad news.
You have work to do. Let's go.
And so we go.
I was hoping it would fuck with him.
No?
Like, would you like the good news or the bad news? And remember, bone crabs.
You, of course, mentioned the bone crabs again.
So we're up to like 8 times, 9 times, or whatever, the last
Yes, but
week and a half.
This was an out-of-character reference, so...
Still counts.
Alright, well, that counts.
Anyway.
Add it to the pile.
I'm going to have to unpack something I wasn't expecting to unpack for at least another 2 or 3 weeks since you decided to take this route. Give me a moment to make a token.
And I didn't expect to actually be able to show up tonight, but here I am.
Yay!
Hooray!
By the way, Mike, as a heads up, your picture there on Roll20, that's uploaded onto YouTube.
I do not care.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear on that. I couldn't remember if it had been mentioned or not.
It hadn't, but I put 2 and 2 together, and I knew about it last week, and I was like, I don't care. Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
I might change it in the future, but for now, whatever.
He doesn't care if people look at him.
Dirty.
Oh my.
So, on an unrelated note, so tonight is going to be Cassie Thompson's last week.
Yeah?
She's turning red.
Not red, just happy.
She's about to be sacrificed in the ritual joining.
Emily, stop trying to make marriage sound weird.
I mean, to be fair, like, think about it logically.
Kind of weird.
Yeah, even if you ignore all the weird traditions, like the traditions to the ceremonies and stuff, like, as a concept, it's kind of really fucking weird.
We'll be right back.
Hey, now is when we need Light to put the explosives under his chair.
Okay, so So you tell Forco to get Ipe on the phone, right? And he's like, oh gods, I don't even want to think of the lag we're going to have to go going through TCOM on all the way across the galaxy to the frickin' island. But okay. And he types in the guy's, like, basically his number. And requests... yeah, whatever. No, it's probably like an individual number you have with TCOM that's just like, hey, this goes to your communicators. So, and he requests a video call, and you wait. You wait. You wait about 3 minutes. And then all of a sudden, the face appears on the screen. And he's like, that was quick.
Oh gods, it's hideous. Kill it with fire.
What?
And he's like, Fucko! What's up?
I thought that was the controller dude from Lop's Yard.
He points at Leah, who's out there. He's like, hey, good luck, Chum! How you doing?
Son of a bitch!
Hi, hon. What you doing on this number?
He takes a moment and strokes his chin and goes, oh, I think we have some baggage to unpack.
Just maybe.
So I have to point this out though. Appropriate for the token you've given this dude, the fact that he didn't already throw us to the wolves, you could say that he's already showed some of his hand.
Well, this
I won't apologize.
This is highly fortuitous. So,
Wait, you were really gonna let him kill me?
oh, definitely. Well, no, maybe.
See if I come to you again at the bar.
Oh, that just hurts my heart right here. I swear to God.
That's not your heart.
What's God?
Well, I probably different than the contemporary God, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Forco was not going to kill you. Well, unless you prove to be a threat to my establishment, at which point he was totally going to kill you. But I didn't think you actually would be, considering how you hit Lop's Yard.
She's frowny facing him hard.
Anyone else know what this idiot is talking about?
Wait, how we hit Lop's Yard?
Hit as a, means of speaking. When you arrived, right?
Good, because your manner of speaking was making it sound like you were intending to frame us for what your associate did.
No, of course not.
Because we have a history with that, and it really pisses us off.
And how would your employer feel about, this?
He don't know. That's one of the benefits of this whole business where, he's stuck in a bunker and doing all his business by phone. He thinks I'm in a beach house in the island. In fact, heck, he snaps his finger a couple times and an entire, beachfront hologram appears up behind him. See? Beachfront in the island. Now, meanwhile, I've been doing my own business. Tracking some things down, doing a few things, moonlighting as a space traffic controller in Lop's Yard to keep an eye on the dude. Business. Which I take it you got with us. Considering you're sitting here with my spy, calling me.
God, Bailey, stop licking your pillow.
Well, Fargo,
At which point, Rowland just kind of turns to look at Fark and says, "Well," and just stares at him expectantly.
So,
Business time, it's business time.
I'm going to tell you a few things. So, Forco kind of is like, they want a coup. They want double agents. They want us to double agent on our employer. The guy kind of taps that robotic arm of his down on the thing. That's a tricky situation. I mean, it's a tricky situation I was already planning. But a tricky situation.
You don't tend to be the one heading and planning all of the operations without having something like this already planned, which is why it was suggested. So, now you have an easy out. You want to take Ahu's assets, we want to take Ahu. You give us the information, and manage to conveniently put in just enough effort to try, and then we take care of your problem, our mutual problem.
There is only one little thing has the problem with that. The corporation that Ahu runs, it's entirely Jenga towered on top of one point. So, by the way, you guys play Jenga? The humans made
Yes.
an amazing game with
What the
that.
hell is that?
It's a wooden tower game. Humans invented it. It was great. It's great.
It's even better when drunk. And I really, really wish I could be drinking now.
No, you
So-
really, really shouldn't. But yes, for some reason you actually get better when you're drunk.
It's all balanced on that artifact. I know from your situation and from the information I gave Forco that you guys need that to prove your innocence. So I propose a deal. You guys can have that artifact. If we can find it. Ahu needs to only live long enough that I can attain his assets, and that you guys can get that artifact, which he's hidden somewhere. Keeps the facility that produces the quantum-tempered metal he uses in all those ships a careful secret. Only he knows where it is.
Except I can about guarantee that his researcher knows where it is. You can't do research on a device that you don't have access to.
And he does like a little like point to his head and then your head thing. You getting it?
I get
But
it.
that's the thing. I'm gonna need a new technology to balance this little corporation on. And I think your method of FTL would be perfect. You give me the information on that, I give you Ahu. Win deal is complete. I swear on this non-existent right eye of mine.
I think you don't understand how to swear on something, sir.
He just shrugs. Just a mousenoid trying to make his way in the world. Do we have a deal?
Can we conference on this for a minute, in private?
Not like it's exactly as long distance of a call as we thought. We'll call you back.
Go for it. Now I'm going to go drinking with Lop in about 15 minutes, because once we do this dean with Ahu, I'm probably going to pull him in. He's a decent boss. Later. And he tips the button.
He may cave in your skull for when you point out that it was your associates that just wrecked a large portion of his yard.
He don't ever need to know that. Plus, I think I could take him.
Ballsy.
Hmm.
It's always the ambitious ones that usually get their skulls caved in.
Also, like I said, I was not intending to reveal that this character had been this guy the entire time for another, 3 weeks. So...
You ask.
So, I'd like to point out something.
yes.
We have the LOP AI who probably now has heard all of this.
Yeah, but the LOP AI was deliberately built with none of, the whole, he has the drive and the motivation to fuck Ahu, but not the violent rage.
Yeah, I get that. I'm just like,
But does the AI love the yard too?
well, not that. It's more of a, could the AI accurately predict what LOP's actual reaction would wind up being?
That's a good point. And it's possible.
Oh my gosh, is that Leah's farts?
What? What?
The fish!
No, that was just because.
But it works!
It is basically what came off of her navel, yes. Except rather than just blue, it was all sorts of colors. Even some colors you can't even perceive.
Anyway.
So at that point, Roland's just gonna kind of sit back and he's gonna start rubbing his forehead with one of his 3 fingers.
So that makes 3 different people who are willing to kill a large number of others who are all looking after getting this relic. A third person now trying to get us to go after it. At least this one is offering to let us keep it, but now we would have to find an alternative, which functionally keeps us at square one.
And how many of you knew this person before this call?
Yeah. Wait, what?
Are we talking about the mouse?
The mouse.
Who?
Ipe. Ipe is his name.
Then yes, we all knew.
You did know him as Ipe. He went by a different name.
Yeah.
And what makes you think he's going to keep his word?
The fact that he only has things to gain from this entire situation is the only thing that makes me think he might keep his word.
Porco kind of turns around and also shrugs and goes, and he was going to do it anyway. The only reason I was willing to go wrong with Rellen's plan is because I already knew this was going to happen anyway. So,
Not to mention, he had every opportunity to hurt Leah.
Fair
Here's
point.
my concern. We are functionally kept at square one. We get our revenge by proxy, but Ahu is dealt with.
Well, I mean,
The problem that I see is this continuously rising cost. Is it worth it? Forgo, if we tell Ipe that we are simply going to back off and let him do as he wants to Ahu, would he actually let us be?
Let's see. Forko thinks about it for a moment. If you want to talk about being really at square one, that's what would happen. If Ipe takes over the company and continues to make these quantum-tempered hull ships, just like Ahu's doing right now, then you guys are all still wanted. Except for, I think, blue, pointy-eared guy there. I got no idea what's up with him. You're all still wanted. You're at square one. The best thing you can do is fly off into the sunset and never look back. And hope no one ever finds you.
Still being wanted.
Still being wanted. Perhaps another galaxy or another system might be isolationist enough to let you crash there, and you would basically live as illegal aliens for the rest of your life and whatever. But what he is offering is he lets you in to get Ahu and get the evidence you need. Get the artifacts you need as the key component of your case. And then you all just take off, clear your names, and what have you from there. You can decide your own lives. But he's going to need something to make sure that the company that you're offering to help him get is an even score. So he wants your FTL technology. Because wormhole ships. Ain't no one got wormhole ships.
And maybe for a good reason.
Maybe. I don't know. History ain't written yet.
Actually, it kind of is.
Either way.
If we give him the information now, there is no guarantee that we will get our portion of the deal.
That's why he's asking you.
He's planning to depose Ahu anyway. So far as I am concerned, I'm already getting what I needed out of this. So,
Forko raises a finger.
So far as I am concerned, this venture is functionally done.
No. Forko raises a finger. Yeah. But as we were planning it, it was going to take years. Like, we're talking a 15-year plan. With you guys, we could do it much faster. So, because like you said, you destabilized a war that was projected to take 20 years in the course of a week.
Seems our incentive is to assist them then.
To an extent. Either way, this is not the decision we're going to rush to right now.
Out of character question, were we still concerned on whether or not he would basically get us what we wanted out of this deal?
But the thing Relin wants is just Ahu dealt with, and so if he's planning on trying to depose and get Ahu out of the way, then at least for Relin's perspective, problem solved.
Yeah, but that really doesn't help Relin.
Well, Relin, and that's kind of like his thing. Relin can always go back to Teldar anyway.
As a wanted man.
That their society is Teldar first. I mean, their society is built on the idea that they are the chosen ones of the galaxy. They're not going to throw one of theirs unless you're doing something to really screw over Teldar's relations everywhere else.
Mhm.
A theft is not going to be enough for them to screw with.
Hmm. Hmm. I always, with the way you depicted them, figured they were a lawful society that would be like, well, yeah, but in order to, show that we are such a great race, we kind of need to, uphold rule of law and probably extradite our criminals, whether there are.
Lawful as organized, not lawful as in how most D&D players interpret lawful alignments of that means you follow the rules end point. Because I mean, if that was their what you were describing as their social standard, they wouldn't have Black Ops Special Forces stuff.
Mhm. Either way. What does everyone else think?
There's a dislike for the idea of, handing over the technology, mainly because of the troubles that could cause in the future.
Mhm.
But it seems like they're only well, not only, but probably the best way of getting it over with is through the whole, trading it over for the stuff.
I'm less certain about handing over the technology immediately versus assisting them with what we have, and then after things are more finalized, to hand over the technology.
Yeah, which is basically what he said. He doesn't want it up front right now. Because otherwise there's no reason for you, he doesn't think there's any reason for you to, not double cross him. If he gets the technology, he knows that you're going to be suspicious because now he holds all the cards and you haven't got your pay, basically. So he's offering to make sure that you have yourselves free and clear before he asks for your part of the bargain. Does that make sense?
In that case, yes.
Yeah, it seems like a win-win situation to me. We get Ahu, he loses all his stuff. We get the device, which we need to pay off whoever. And who cares if someone else has the blueprints and whatnot? I mean, we could just keep it to ourselves forever, but that seems pointless.
Someone's going to figure it out regardless.
Someone's going to figure it out eventually. Exactly.
Shoot.
So, how do we proceed from here?
Call him back and say, I guess we are doing this thing.
We have an accord.
All
That's
right.
the best deal we can get.
And I like that, yeah. Oh man, I'm gonna have to do so much planning over the next week. You guys have no idea.
We have thrown a monkey wrench into your plans for the next week.
A little bit.
Hey,
Roland's just kind of sitting there, like, still, not look. Wait, still on.
Sorry. So Rellen's sitting there, just kind of like still, like casually rocking in his seat, back and forth, not looking at anybody as he continues to ponder and listen in. And after everybody's just like, yeah, okay, so we call him back, he says,
Then suppose that I'm going to have to simply wish you all the best of luck then.
Why?
you're not helping us?
Explain.
I have been very clear with what my motivations are for why I wanted to pursue Ahu as hard as we were going to. The exact plan that I had already been suggesting is something that someone else in a better position is already capable of doing.
Didn't they just say it would have taken 15 years?
And that is 15 years that I can spend at home, not having to really worry about it.
But, I mean, we haven't exactly checked with him about what will be needed. You might need to stick around to finalize things.
If you think that I am the best infiltration infiltration specialist or assassin in this galaxy, or one that is even close to the highest pay grade that they are able to get, I apparently had bluffed much better than I ever thought I had.
No, but
But the
you
deal
seem to know what
wasn't-
you're talking about.
The deal wasn't that we just hand them the.
I'm fully aware of what the deal was, Ussie.
So without you to help us help them, it will take far longer. And may not get done.
I'd also like to point out that we can trust you. We don't necessarily know that there's not going to be another double cross in there. Yes, right now things look good. That doesn't mean anything.
I'm not saying that things look good.
So,
I'm
you know, just being like, all right, well, everything's done. I'm leaving. Kind of leaves us in a lurch potentially. We could use your help in the whole thing, but especially if something goes wrong or this guy turns on us.
Or, the fact that you're a good shot and can take him out.
At this point, if you just take up and leave, this man may double cross us immediately and actually be Ahu's agent. And it never get done.
It sounds way too good to be true, though.
If you don't see it through, it may not get done.
He was willing to pretty much trash where he was working, or at least possibly undercover working.
If his whole plan hinges on my specific involvement, That's the thing. He's not the forego. The suggested timetable moving up is not because I am here. It's because of the capabilities of the ship and its crew.
Which you're a part of.
A small part.
And you also don't have a method of transport from here.
I am sitting on a very fat payday from this already, for which I can retire from, which was the whole point of taking the job from Ahu in the first place. The fact that justice is already slated on Ahu's plate is why I am stepping away.
However, we all still owe Locke.
This is true. And I will give him my part of the payment for the ship, and still have enough to retire off of.
As he glares a bit at him and walks out because she can't handle this right now.
I think you choosing to leave would put yourself in not so favorable eyes amongst a couple of people who, excluding me, seem to know you a lot better than most.
Leah is looking emotional but not saying anything.
No. I mean, I get it. You got no ties to us. It's gonna get done. So who cares, right? Go on, get the fuck out of here.
And Dr. Russ?
Nothing being said.
Okay.
I had no idea that Teledor liked to just leave things half done like a bunch of waiters.
Oh, snap. The shade.
The light ship's throwing shade.
My god.
Oh my god.
So, Matt, what do you do?
At that point, Rollins is going to kind of... Oops.
Ron's just gonna kind of glare daggers over at Light, and then he just the words. Just gonna shrug a little bit, and then
It will not be difficult for you to find someone who is far more capable than myself to help with whatever it is that you plan on doing.
No, you're right.
I thought I had been as transparent as possible in what I was out here to try and do.
Yes.
I apologize if you feel like this is sidelining anything, but I have stressed again and again that this entire mission is likely to be the death of a number of us.
I think you greatly underestimate a number of us.
I'm fully willing to be proven wrong. But being the one whose job would be to be standing in front of the majority of this, being the one whose job is to stand in the line of fire, I have been trying to find what is the fastest way out of this perpetual catch-22. And now knowing that the objective is going to be achieved one way or another, I can leave it with a clear conscience. If any of you have issue with that, then I apologize.
Now,
But I am as free to make my decisions as you are to make yours. I will still help you while we are out here to get things built and established.
No. Don't do us any favors.
just throwing us out like that, huh? We're that good to you.
At which point, Rellen's just going to raise a brow, and at that point, he's going to just float up out of his chair and start walking away.
Leah's gonna actually take a moment and say, Realm, thanks for everything. I'm gonna miss you.
And I, and just for the sake of clarity, your child did not say hello earlier. They're not yet that coherent.
Oh, okay.
At that point, the door's going to close behind him.
Well, now that's a bombshell. So, with only you five left on the deck, what do?
Aussie had already left.
I know. There's Light, Russ,
Call him back.
Sarah.
We're getting shit done.
All right, Forco dials again, and he reappears.
You got a deal.
Excellent. Now I have a question. What do we want to do about my man there?
Make this happen and he's yours again.
I mean, okay. Honestly,
He just looks at it. It's like, no. Do you want to keep him there, or do you want to just drop him off to me?
oh shit. Actually, that's kind of up to him. If he wants to stick around, it's fine. I mean, I'm sure he'll understand that he'll be, watched prestigiously.
Mhm.
But if he wants to stick around, that's fine. If not, we'll drop him off. I don't care.
The big hollow screen of Ipe looks down at Forco. What do you want to do? And he goes, Forco looks up and he goes, I don't know, man. These people threaten me with bone crabs. Even if Hay
What?
kind of like raises an eyebrow and is like, really? Bone crabs.
Light?
I know someone.
I am not surprised about the threatening, not you. We already know that.
But Forco kind of continues, so, if it's all the same to them, I'd like to get off this crazy ride. It would probably help to keep Ahu in the dark if I suddenly didn't just disappear.
That's a fair assessment.
Ipe kind of looks down and goes, he's already kind of frantic. You've been gone a week. No communication, no reports. I figured you went the way of Ocel.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he basically said we were gonna have to kill him. So.
I don't doubt that man was a hard man. So you killed him?
Well, I mean, Krillin did.
There,
He got the plasma rifle.
Ipe kind of gives like a wishy-washy hand gesture. There was a lot of confusion on if your ship killed him, or the Test Knights killed him, or if the Morganites killed him for insubordination, or there's a lot of false information regarding that man's departure.
Ah, I see. Oh yeah, we had him on the ship and we killed him. We captured him and killed him.
I will omit this detail from my report to Ahu.
Thanks.
You know.
Appreciate that.
So, if we're going to be doing this, we're going to have to be doing it quietly. What's Forco told you?
What did he tell us?
He told you that basically there's only two people that would 100% be needed in order to be removed from the equation in order to help this happen, and that would be
Ahu's right hand and the scientist.
yes, you'd need the businessman and the scientist. You'd need Iska and I can always say his name when I read it. Trigeki. Genki. If you can get rid of those two, it opens a lot of doors for us. It speeds up the thing by years.
Well then, yeah, there we go.
Because we're going to need Iska, because Iska's the only one other than Ahu who knows where the artifact is, and Ahu has no reason to tell us.
And just to be clear, we need Iska alive. And
Yes.
Geki?
Tigeki.
Tegeki murdered or alive?
Oh, he needs to be out of the picture, like, hardcore. It doesn't matter so long as he disappears. Right now, he is Ahu's only tie to the business. If he disappears, Ahu has to rely on me for the business.
Okay.
Or find someone else, which will take time. Obviously, I think I can maneuver myself to getting taking care of Ahu's part of the business, which means I can seize his assets, which means I can take over when he's gone.
So, to make things the smoothest possible transition here, Tegeki first and then the scientist?
That's tough. It's very
Because if
tough.
we take the scientist out first, that might concern people directly about the artifact. If Tageki goes, then it just looks like, business got rough, incidents happened. And doesn't necessarily say, hey, someone's gunning for an artifact.
That's true. And with Forco out there and able to report back, it makes it look even more like nothing is wrong and business is as usual. Which should keep Ahu from becoming paranoid. Which I need to stress is the primary thing. We need 100% to keep Ahu from becoming paranoid.
Surprised he isn't a paranoid asshat all the time.
Oh, he is all the time.
So we arrange some sort of incident with Tageki's, transportation, goes up in a fiery mess. Then we wait just maybe, a month or two, go get the good doctor, get our information about the artifact, get artifact, and we're good, right? This is the basic outline of what would happen here, correct?
This is the basic outline of the plan. And we do need to do it before Ahu's warship is finished. But this shouldn't take us that long.
What's the ETA on his warship?
Well, considering you just barely canceled the deal he had going with the Morganites for metal, yeah, you've pushed it back quite a bit.
That would have been a nice little thing to know. Alright.
Yeah, that's the thing. That was the thing that was causing me a lot of stress. I didn't know how I was going to get this plan going before that ship got finished. Because once that ship's finished, oh man, it's almost as bad as his bunker on the island. Except it flies around. So,
We need to, at all costs, prevent him from acquiring this.
it's still being built. It's about 3 years out.
But what you're saying is we need to take him out in the next 2 months.
Possibly. Either way. I think that's our plan.
Sounds fine.
Sounds fine.
Alrighty. So do you have any people that we can ask for help with anything, or are we kind of now back to only talking at the yard?
What exactly do you mean by people, and what sort of help would you need?
She looks over at Light.
What?
She mouths Relin? Question mark?
I don't know. We got Galena. I don't know. I guess our Teldar warrior, quote unquote, has decided that since this is getting done, he doesn't need to have a hand in it anymore. So I guess we could use another combat monkey
Strategist.
or strategist.
You need kind of like a military expert? Some guy to plan?
I mean, I guess it couldn't hurt.
Can we get back in touch with you on that, just in case we, know for sure what we all need?
Sure. Forco will leave you my number.
I'm going to step away a quick sec.
I think we're about ready to set up because I couldn't pull something to do out of my butt at this point anyway. Wow. Okay. So yeah, with that, I think communication ends. And we're left with... Yeah. With it is where it is. And we'll pick up next week. Alright.
Dun, dun, dun.
That was quite the little bombshell.
Yeah.
God damn it, Matt.